Hi, and welcome back to another episode of A Spinner's World. My name is Ashley, Spun Too Tight on Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, everywhere.
And I'm Dory, Hop Stitching Away.
Thought for a minute there you forgot who you were.
I was like, wait, oh, she's done, my turn.
I'm not sure if she's really Dory.
I have done that before. I think I've actually said I'm Ashley before, haven't I?
I think I've done that. Like, I'm Hops. No, I'm
almost
not.
years ago. Not years ago.
Well,
been here for years.
It's been a year.
This is months ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't years. It may have been at least a year. But Dory's starting a new project, so I'm going to talk to her a lot and annoy the crap out of her. And the reason she's starting a new project, she's finished, like, everything.
I have goodies to show.
She's finished so much stuff. I was like, what the heck? Like, who are you and what have you done with Dory? But I will start since she's talking. Shall we start with hand spunness first? I will start since she's talking.
I was wondering if
In case you're wondering, I was like, remember I had that cold coming on last weekend? I have been sick all week long, so I actually have my water right there, so if I have a coughing fit, I can grab it. I have been coughing all night to where my husband was like yelling at me. He's like, and I've been sleeping in the guest room because my coughing will keep him up at night, but he will yell at me from the other bedroom to stop coughing or to drink some water. That's how bad it is. But, you know, you have a lot of hand spun stuff, don't you?
No.
No?
Just the one.
Okay. I have no finished hand spun things, and Dory does. But I'm going to start anyways because she's starting a new project because of all the stuff she's finished. But last week I showed you Captain Tight Pants in yarn form. And those are super accurate for the colors. And I had just finished it, and I had cast on a new sock. And I said that my goal was to actually finish the socks by today. I could have done it. I could have done it. The nice thing about being sick was, you know, I got a lot of time to knit. And I literally, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw how much I got done on this. I did this. Sorry, I pulled cat hair off. I did this in like 2 days. And those colors are super accurate there too. This is again the Collie Wobbles pattern by Chain of Fools, Fibertown, Emily. And it is one of my, I really like this pattern. Like, I wasn't too sure before, but I've got hair everywhere. Jeez. They've been cuddling because I've been sick, so, you know. It's a really cool slip stitch pattern if you haven't seen it before. And the slip stitch pattern goes down the front of the sock only, so the back is like just plain stockinette, which I really like. I mean, it looks kind of funny when you look at it like this because it kind of pulls the front down and in a little bit, but it fits fabulously on my foot. And I finally, in case you're wondering, I have come to terms with my foot. I used to always knit like size 80, like 80 stitches socks because I have wide feet and I felt like I needed wide socks. Well, I found that whenever I made socks like that, they fit really well like day one, but when I wore them for more than 10 minutes, they were too big and they were loose and they were kind of baggy and like not comfortable. So I'm actually finding that 64 and 68 stitches on like a size 1 works really well for me. And I've never had socks actually wear out because I was knitting them too loosely. So I'm embracing a slightly looser gauge by knitting on size 1s with a sock yarn. The world will be okay. I've never had a pair of socks wear out, so I don't know why I freakishly obsess and knit everything on like size quadruple zeros. But coming to terms with things. So like I said, I could have had these done easily, but I did not. And I'll talk about my other project later, but you've seen it before, so. Go ahead, you got stuff, I know, the hand spun stuff.
Well, I only have one hand spun thing. I have, was already
That's
done,
true.
so. I crocheted myself a little hat. You might recognize the yarn, the color, because I was making a scarf out of it for a guy who was not worthy of it.
Not worthy.
Not my boyfriend. Not my boyfriend. The guy prior to my boyfriend.
Yes.
So I undid the yarn and then decided I was going to do something for me. And I found this pattern. I think it's just called Flower Slouch Hat on Ravelry. It's a free download. It's in my library, but not on my projects yet. And it actually calls for a chunkier yarn. But so I just, what's it called? And I used size H, I think. No, E. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my needles in here, or my crochet hooks in here. But after you finish the flower pattern, from here to about here is just regular double crochet. And since the yarn was smaller, to get it to cover my head, I just did several more rounds. I kind of just placed it on my head. Is it big enough? Nope. Big enough? Okay, big enough. Before I started the decrease.
That's the great thing about after you knit and crochet for a while, you can kind of figure out, like, oh, this needs to be a little bit longer.
Yeah. So, and I like it. I really like it. It's cozy and comfy, and I love the way the colors turned out when I started crocheting it. And I have enough in this skein that I can do a scarf to match.
Nice. You had 8 ounces of that, didn't you?
Yep, I was gonna say, and on top of that, I have a whole nother 4 ounces that are not yet spun.
Oh, okay. I thought you had spun all 8.
No, I only spun the 4 ounces of it, and I had quite a lot.
You could have like matching mitts as well.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I could have a whole matching set.
And you could make like a cowl and a scarf, and then have like options.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm kind of excited for you.
This is it for my finished. I brought this over because it is going to be my next project for my hand spun. This was Renaissance. I've had the yarn forever.
It's really pretty. Who was that?
It was we got it from Friends and Fiber at Stitches South.
Okay.
So this is over a year ago when I had it, and this was also 8 ounces, and this is just the first 4 ounces. This is one of the first things, if you want to see the colors. I really like the colors.
We're getting some good color today, I would say.
This is one of the first things I actually spun up on the wheel.
Oh, nice.
And this is going to be a pair of fingerless mitts for, excuse me, for my friend Shanley, for Christmas. So I figured I'd pull it out since this is going to be a future project. I'll probably start working on it this week. I do not have the pattern book that I am going to be using. It's from Crochet One Skein Wonders, though, and it's going to be kind of a scallop. And the scallop pattern and the pattern, the color, or the yarn they used was kind of a gradient yarn, I guess. And this will probably do the same thing. So I'm really excited for that. And this is just 2-ply.
That's what I love about hand spun is you get that kind of like gradient blended look.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I love these socks so much is because the yarn just kind of blends into the next color. And I love that.
So because I was debating what colors I wanted, which of my hand spun I wanted to do, and I was like, because I love all my hand spun, and it's like I have a hard time giving it away. And then I was like, oh, I have a whole nother 4 ounces that I can spin up. So,
Oh, good.
maybe it's a little bit selfish in giving her this, but when we were packing up my yarn, she did say she really liked this color. So, and
She's got good taste. Those are our colors too.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want me to show my other? Go on to knitting. This is just regular knitting.
Sure. Go ahead.
I finished my socks, but I forgot them.
Can you believe it? I don't believe it. I think she's lying. That'd be like 3 finished objects in a week. I'm on to her. Before it was like, I'm still working on these socks. It's been 3 months, and now it's like, I finished 3 things this week.
So, well, I would have finished more, but there was sort of an episode last night with my dogs, and I was just too frazzled to do anything. My dogs got into a huge fight last night. But anyway, well, last weekend I was sitting at Swing Dance and I'm crocheting, and the lobby, because I work the table for a shift, and the lobby that we work in is not heated. So it gets very, very cold. And last Saturday was actually pretty chilly for Charleston.
For Charleston, yeah.
It was down into the 30s.
They were saying they got snow in the upstate.
So I was like, I need fingerless gloves. Also, I need fingerless gloves, not just so I can crochet or knit, but I have to handle the money. And so gloves will keep me from being able. So
I need a pair myself because I have outside duty at work at lunch, and I have been freezing this past week.
So Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, I got my, several months ago when they were doing the art. Crafty Girl and Another Crafty Girl.
They still do that, I think.
But the theme was
it was
art.
the 2 Crafty Girls Yarn Club.
They were doing art masterpieces, and Another Crafty Girls. I finished it. Look at that.
Look familiar? I think I finished a hat.
This was Another Crafty Girls Mona Lisa, And I don't know if you can see the pattern. There's kind of a shell and front post going on there. And I was telling Ashley that, you know, I have a tight gauge. I stitch tightly. So keeping that in mind, I made my stitches loose and then forgot I have extremely small hands.
Didn't we talk about this like
So-
last year?
Yeah,
I think
well,
we've
you
said this-
mentioned if I were to do gloves, they might be hard for my fingers. I have my ring fingers are 5.5.
I feel like last year we did an episode where you made gloves as well, and you were like, and I forgot I have thin hands.
No, I did a pair of fingerless that Ella chewed up out of my loop.
Yeah.
But the other one,
That's really
one was off because I
Okay.
I forgot how many rows I had done. So this glove is a little bit on the loose side, and then the pattern itself, the gloves stop here, but I wanted them to come all the way up to my knuckles so that I have more of my fingers warm.
Agreed.
So I just did a couple extra rounds at the end. But this glove, when I was doing this glove, keeping in mind that my hands are smaller, I actually did my normal gauge, and it fits much better. And then up here, because they were a little bit loose up here, I decided to decrease the last 3 extra rounds that I did. I just did 1 decrease each round so that it was a little more snug. And I really like the way it turned out. They pretty.
I like it.
So I don't know if you can see the pattern too well, but the color is gorgeous. And I have enough yarn that I can make a scarf. I don't think I'll have a long scarf, but just one of the small scarves that you cross and then you can tie.
Like a cowl?
Yeah, kind of like a cowl, but I'm not going to do a full, just like a little, I have cute little pins that I'll just use to tack in place.
Totally.
So, but I really like it. It's very pretty. The pattern worked really well with this yarn, with the way the yarn,
Like it doesn't pull or anything,
yeah,
which is nice.
It doesn't pull. You can see the pulling in the back, but the front is very nice. I like it. I am very happy with my gloves, and they are so soft too. So
I always forget about crochet, you know, because like to me, I always think, oh well, knitting takes up so much less yarn. I want to knit everything.
I wanted something quick.
Yeah, I kind of want to
And
crochet things.
This was out of a book that I have called Crochet One Skein Wonders. So I was like, and I knew they had gloves in there, or fingerless gloves.
Nice.
So I knew when I wanted to do some fingerless gloves, and I wanted it to be crochet, I went there, so I knew I could get it done with one skein.
That's a book I need to get because to me, it's like I don't want to like use a ton of yarn. I'm all cool with quick.
Well, now some of their projects, their yarn, like they have One Skein Wonders,
And it's like a red
and they
mark,
call for a pound, the pound of love. So I'm like, yeah, it's one skein, but not too many people exactly have a pound of
I wouldn't
yarns.
call that like luxury.
No,
And if I
no.
want
Well, they
something-
have different sections. They have super
course.
fine, fine, sport, you know, and then
I
the
would
bulky.
probably use like the super fine and fine, and then not
Yeah.
the other sections.
So, and this was actually a super fine pattern that I just altered for the sock weight yarn that I had. And that be all of my finished projects.
I got nothing finished. You want to talk about what you're working on?
Yeah, sure.
Since
I am, excuse me, while I
there's just like
disappear
a
off
whole
camera.
pile of those too.
So Christmas is coming up, and I decided for some of my friends, I had some cotton yarn, and I decided there's a guy if you're ever in Charleston and you're walking around Market Street on a Friday or Saturday evening and you are in the mood for some good smelling soaps, go to Southern Charm.
There's
Crap, I can't
one in
remember.
Somerville too that has a shop.
No, this guy, he's just through the market. I think it's Southern Charm. Soaps. We call him the soap guy, me and Shanley, because we go there. He's cute too.
There's a guy that has a shop up in Somerville that has a soap shop as well. I'm
Yeah.
like, why is it guys with all soap shops?
So we call him our soap guy, and we go, and I decided I was going to get a bunch of bars and make washcloths for Christmas for some of my friends. So I am actually I just started while we were filming. I am going to do the spider stitch because I couldn't find any patterns that I liked. I thought I had some pretty patterns for washcloths in some of my numerous pattern books, but I couldn't find them. So I just decided I'd go to my handy dandy crochet stitch Bible and find a stitch. So the first one I'm going to do the spider stitch. because it's textured, and I think I want a texture for this one. And then the next one that I do, I think I'm going to do the tulip stitch, because I think it'll look pretty with the way that, so. And I also have Christmas decorations I'm working on.
I love this one.
They're going to be, it's actually going to be garland. So here's one Christmas tree, and then here's the other.
I love it.
And they're going to be, let me actually do it this way. They're going to be alternating, and then they're going to be strung through, and they're going to be Christmas decorations. I got this from Crochet Today. It's the November-December 2010 issue, but I think I've also seen it in some of their holiday collections.
I'm sure it's a pattern that they use.
Yeah, it's
lots.
really easy. You actually, I think it's an inverted pattern.
It's like a chevron kind of.
Yeah, but I think I start at the bottom. I think you start at the bottom and then you work your way to the top, and then to do the trunk you come around this way with slip stitches, and then you do the trunk, and then you slip stitch up the side and come up here. So
I kind of want to make something.
but they're really simple, really easy to make. And I was going to be working on them, but I forgot my hook because they need a size I, and all I have is the H. So I decided I would do now where did I put my hook?
Last time she was here and crocheted her couch, my couch ate her hook, and I found it. Like, I sat on the couch a week later and sat on a hook. Maybe she won't be knitting anything.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm done.
So, like I said, I didn't get to finish my socks. I wanted to. They're my favorite thing to knit right now. But my husband was whining at me because, like Dory said, Christmas is coming. And I haven't finished the gift for my sister-in-law yet. If you remember, I was working on the Hue Shift Afghan. I think I showed it last week because I had literally only finished like half of a square. So I started working on it again. That blocked Dory.
Whopped me in the face with it.
At least it's just a blanket, right? But I was on this square right here, I think last time. Oh no, I had started this one but then didn't finish it. So I finished this one, and then this one, and then this one, and I have started the last one in the row. So I'm really liking these colors. And again, this is the Hue Shift Afghan kit from Knit Picks. This one was like 30 bucks, 35 bucks. And it's a size 5 needle. 5 US, at least that's what I'm using. I think that's what the pattern called for. But I am on block number 15.
Out of how many?
100. So this is all I'm working on right now. I wanted a bunch of things for Christmas, but I think this is going to be the only thing. And I may not get it done. They may be getting a picture and a card with a, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm working as fast as I can kind of note. Although I do get 2 weeks off for Christmas, so I may be able to get it done during my time off.
And then 12 days of Christmas actually start on Christmas
Day, yes.
So
That's
as long as you get it finished in between the 12 days of Christmas, it's still a Christmas present.
That's what bugs me, is because everyone thinks the 12 days of Christmas is before Christmas. It's not. It's Christmas and after.
I keep my Christmas tree up until after.
You're supposed to.
Until after Little Epiphany.
Epiphany, yeah. You're supposed to keep your Christmas tree up until the Epiphany. People don't. That bothers me too. But, it's because I'm weird.
And then people look at you funny because you have your Christmas tree up after Christmas, and yet it's okay to put your decorations up before Thanksgiving.
They're like, Christmas is over. I'm like, but Epiphany is not for another 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. That's why I leave that up to. Is that a religious thing though?
Yeah.
Is that a Catholic thing?
More Catholics are actually. It was Methodists who told me about it.
Yeah.
So
my family always did it, but
yeah,
we're Catholic.
Most of the people that I know about Epiphany and the 12 days of
religious.
Christmas. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that may be me then. It probably is me. That's okay. I might not even put one up this year. We'll see. My goal is to put
I'm
one
putting
up.
one up when my boyfriend comes down. He'll be here on the 16th or 17th, and then we're gonna get a tree.
I'm afraid my cats are gonna climb it. I've never had a tree with these two, so I don't know. It makes me nervous. But I may put one up anyways and put it somewhere where I can close the door, like on the porch.
I don't know how Ella's gonna do with the tree.
See, it makes me nervous when you get new pets because you're like, how are they gonna react? But I'm working on this. I'm obsessing over details, like whether my squares are lining up okay. They're starting to shift a bit and it bothers me inside, but I'm trying not to let that get to me. I think I can block it into place and I'll be okay, but you know. So that's what I'm working on. This is what I'm probably gonna be working on for the next like 4 weeks. So you'll probably see nothing but this blanket for a while. So get used to it. And then I'll use the time when I'm actually on the podcast to knit on things I want to knit on.
Sounds like or sounds like a plan.
Sounds like not fun plan, but it's a plan.
Are we done?
I think so. Do you have anything else?
No. Oh no, but you have.
I do have other things.
You
yes,
have new.
but
new
project
stuff.
wise,
No,
do you have anything
project
else?
wise,
Okay, so I probably edited some stuff out because you know I had to blow my nose. If not, y'all got to witness something horrible. But my birthday was a week and a half ago. Yeah, and I'm still doing the whole shopping thing because now I got my cards and so I've got like birthday cash. My mother couldn't make it down for Thanksgiving, so she sent me a check. That and I had to get a new phone, so it kind of helped offset costs of phones. But I have cash, and so I've been looking at things online. And before I was like, I'm gonna buy yarn. And then I decided I really don't need yarn. But someone else gave me yarn. So my money's going in, that I spent is going into makeup, and I'll probably talk about that in a little bit because I'm so excited about that. I made Dory spell me, but she walked in. That's how excited I am about, yeah, I'm like, smell me! But Dory had purchased this, and she kept this a secret for like 4 months.
Well, since September.
That's a long time.
I got it when I was visiting my family at the Frazzle. What was the name? The shop in South Haven.
Usually she says things like, I have something, I can't tell you. I have something, I can't tell you. But she didn't even do that.
Because I knew if I told her,
she would tell me.
Well, I knew if I told her after coming back from Mississippi and
connect.
having purchased the fiber that I had shown from them. What's the name of that shop? What's the name of that
There's
shop?
no name on here.
A Hank of Yarn or something like a Hank, something like
Hank?
that. Yeah, because the lady's name, her name
I believe
is
it.
Hank.
I think Laura and Leslie talk about
Yeah,
Hank
it's
a
the
lot.
one.
And that's their city, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but I knew if I had mentioned I had her present or I had something for her, she'd put the connection together.
I'm a smart cookie.
And it has been incredibly hard for me to keep quiet. It helps that for the last 3 months it's been packed away in a box, though.
And then Dory wasn't here, so she missed a few episodes, which just helps too, since there's like the less you see me. Maybe that's why she wasn't coming. I'm on to her now. But it's Scarlet Fleece hand painted fiber and luxury yarn. Of course, the sun's. It's called Grassy Wool. And it's blues and greens, and it's merino, and it's bamboo, and it's one of those things where
I was like, merino? And I saw the colors I was looking at. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. I'm like, if I like it, Ashley will
it
like
is, and that's so
And then
true.
it had the plus of being merino. I'm like, it's Ashley's.
It is. I love merino.
She's a merino girl. If you ever wonder what to get her, merino.
Merino. Especially superwash. I love superwash too. I don't know why. But I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I'm still trying to decide. See, and that's the thing. It's like, oh, it's been sprung on me. I feel like I should make a cowl. And I'm in one of those moods right now where, like, I'm going to need accessories.
Yeah. It should be a cowl or a scarf. Something that you'll wear. Because you make tons of shawls. And her shawls are beautiful. But she never wears her shawls.
I wore 3 in 1 week to school. I know, right? I wore them as scarves, though.
Who is she? And what has she done with Ashley?
Everyone, I mean, I wore all my hand spun, hand knit ones. People were like, oh, wow, this is really pretty, Richie. I'm like, I made it. And the yarn. But I think I need to go buy a solid black jacket or something to wear this winter because it's colder than I remember.
You're supposed to be having it. Well, the almanac called for a pretty harsh winter.
And I used to only have morning duty outside, so I'd be outside for like 15 to 20 minutes twice a week. Well, now I'm outside at lunch every single day, and the wind just whips through there, and that's what makes it so cold. It's not the air, it's the fact that the wind is horrible. So I had to actually buy a coat. I haven't worn one in like 3 years, so I actually have to buy one.
I have tons of coats, and I wear them all the time, and she doesn't have a coat. You can tell there's a difference in where we
I'm
were
from
brought up.
Ohio, and I used to wear like my flip-flops all the way through November and December. Well, school always got out the first week of December, but I wore flip-flops and sweatshirts. I never wore a coat in the winter until like January, February in Ohio. So for me, it doesn't get that cold down here, but I'm starting to get used to the climate down here, so I'm starting to want a coat more. I have to go shopping or lose weight. I have a coat, but it doesn't fit because someone got fat. Yo. But I'm working on that. But I'm super excited about this. And like I was telling her before when she got here, I ordered perfume oils online. I used to go to Black Phoenix Alchemy. They always call it BPAL. It's the initials. But they sell like these perfume oils. If you watched or if you listened to Lyman Violet like way back in the day, they talked about them all the time. And I got addicted to them back then. And then Violet started making her own. And so I ended up with a ton of them. And because I'm not a very good girly girl, I barely use them. And now they all, like my husband says, I have them all in a box together. So the box smells amazing, but it's like a mix of all the different scents. And he's like, are you really ever going to use those? And so I said, you know, probably not. So I'm probably going to get rid of the ones I have because I got a bunch of samples to try the scents and some of them I just didn't like. So I ordered scents that I thought I would like. And I ordered 2 of the limited edition because they still have the pumpkin stuff in season right now.
Excuse me.
And I love pumpkin. And then they have winter scents. So there's a peppermint one I got as well. Peppermint and pumpkin are like my 2 favorite scents. So right now it's perfect because I have fall stuff going out of season. And they have winter stuff coming into season. So all my favorite scents are available. So I bought 2 limited editions and then some little samples to try other stuff that they have year round. So I'm going to try to be a girly girl. I haven't cut my hair in a year and a half. My husband's getting really annoyed with me. So makeup and perfume may make him less grumpy about my hair. I promised him I would get my hair cut within the next month or so. But now I'm debating how short I want to go. Because I kind of like it long. But I'd have to cut to like here to be able to donate it. I don't know.
Well, keep growing it out and then tell them you're growing it out so that you can...
I think it's actually stopped growing. I think it's hit its length.
Oh.
Like, you know how there's a length where it just kind of like grows too naturally? No.
My hair will go all the way down to my waist if I let it.
You have amazing genes. But eventually your hair will stop growing. It has like a determined length, like genetic wise. Or so my husband says. He got his out here once and it stopped growing, but it looked really bad. It looked bad.
My brother and I don't appear to have those genes. My brother's hair can get pretty long. He's got the gorgeous curls. Yeah. I got the wavy hair, which is straight today because I flat ironed it.
I need to do my hair more. Yeah. I need to act like a girl, so I'm trying that. See how it goes. So maybe I'll even wear makeup to work. It'll be exciting. But now that we've rambled on for a while, although I think it's probably been like 20 minutes. I won't even lie. When I cut out all the coughing and us looking for her crochet hook, we were only 20 minutes last time. So I drew prizes for the last knit along, which ended yesterday, and some people did post right up until, but it was funny. I mean, we had maybe 3 or 4 people had like the bulk of the threads. There were like a total of like 71 entries, and it wasn't like there were 71 entries. There was like 60 some total, but multiple points were for multiple things. And if you want to check the spreadsheet, go for it, because the numbers I drew were not numbers that were like their post in the Ravelry thread. It was where it lined up with my spreadsheet. So if you want to go check the spreadsheet, go ahead and check the spreadsheet to verify. But there were 2 winners. One has won before. The other, I don't think, has won. She hasn't won. Because she's international. And she comments all the time with me on Instagram. And she comments all the time in the podcast group. And so she's going to like, I know she watches quickly because she'll always comment within like a week, right? But I will remind you again that this was for merino. But I'm trying to remember now if it was superwash or not. I can't remember.
You still have the tags upstairs, don't you?
No, I don't know. I'll look. I think so. I can't remember if it was superwash or not. I would say, you know, hand wash to be safe. Honestly, I have the woman's business card. I can call her up and ask. And I might. She lives in my area. But there's 2 different colors you can pick from. I'm going to let the first name I draw have first dibs. But you can pick either this color. I call this the orangey purpley one. This color, which is the blue greeny one. Or If you want, you could have a mix of 2 ounces of each. Maybe you want to spin them together. I don't know if you're one of those people that likes to do the fun mixy matchy things. So let me know if you want 4 ounces of the orange, 4 ounces of the green, or 2 ounces of each. I'm giving the first person first dibs in case you both like the same thing. So give me your preference. Maybe first choice, second choice, in case you want the 2 of each, you know, let me know. But the first winner, are you ready? She knit like 3 pairs of socks. I put her name down a ton. Drum roll. Was Am I? Yes, I Am. She's won before. And she was entry number 60. 60 was the number that the thing actually picked out. So she was number 60. And then the next one is the person who has not won before. It was entry number 15. It was actually one of the early ones from the first time, like in October. So she got hers in the first month, and that's the number that was drawn. But it was Nitty Witty Shell. And she is one I think I talk to her like at least weekly on Instagram or something. I mean, she's on the ball. But get in touch, you guys. Give me your first choice, your second choice. If I don't hear from you in the next few days, I may contact you just because I'm giving Am I? Yes, I Am first preference for color since her name was drawn first. But if they want different things, then, you know, even better. So there's my little numbers. Go ahead and get in touch. Contact me on Ravelry. I don't know. I probably lost your address. Am I? Yes, I Am. So go ahead and send it again. If not, it's in one of my like 500 Ravelry messages that are old that I never delete because I'm a bad person. So, okay, I'm just rambling now. Next knit along. I don't have any dates for our next one yet because I don't know what I want to do. I'm still thinking.
I'm kind of out of ideas too.
Well, like for me, like right now, I need to get knit Christmas gifts, and I think everybody's in that like push to Christmas kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I need to seriously de-stash next year. And I would love the idea of like some sort of de-stash knit along, like a use up what we have kind of thing, because I have a lot of stuff.
I could go for that.
But I don't know if we want to make up some sort of like certain items and maybe make a year-long de-stash and then pick certain things to knit throughout like a monthly goal. And so give me your ideas. I'm going to kind of play around with that idea, but I think we're going to do some sort of de-stash type knit along, even if we only do prizes every like 4 months like we usually do, 3 or 4 months like we usually do. That's what I'm thinking. And then I could give away stuff from my stash. That might be hard. I like my stash. I don't like to part with things in my stash. Maybe I'll spin something and do a hand spun donation from the stash. That may be able to. So give me your input. I'm going to open up a thread in the group. I would like to hear what you would like to do. Any ideas you have, because I want this to be like a group effort and not a what Dorian I want. So go ahead and put your input in there. Thank you again for watching. We will figure out over the course of December what we want to do for the knit along. I'll text her and harass her a lot, I promise. And so give us your ideas. Thanks again for watching. I'm Spun Too Tight on Ravelry and Instagram and, you know, everywhere.
Hot stitching away.
Thanks for watching. Bye.